Good evening, everyone. Hello. I haven't streamed for a bit, or a couple of weeks, because I was in the UK last week, so apologies if I fall asleep. It's jet lag. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do today, but I'm going to do little things, some work avoidance, perhaps. Yeah, small changes, cleanup. Be nice. Starting with this one, which I noticed just before, we have our wonderful configure dialog here, but track width and was it plank width? This one does nothing, and this one looks like it does something, but it kind of only does one of the things it should do. See that little overlap there? So it's moved the outside edges of the track, but it hasn't changed the width of the white bit in the middle. And the reason is very simply, not that. The reason is, nope, track. Told you I was jet lagged. This used to not be in the constructor. Now it's in the constructor, which means when the properties change, these don't change. So, hello Extorted, how are you? I did write down a bunch of things here that we could do to make these things magically update. So parameters could implement iNotify property changed, and then this can hook up to that. But I kind of can't be bothered. And I think, well, yeah, these are all settable. So realistically, all I actually have to do is that, which is kind of dodge. Where is plank pipe used? Yeah, I should have done that. It's kind of dodge, but it works. And if it's crazy and it works, then it's not crazy. And there we are. In fact, I can get rid of this. So that should have fixed that. That's easy. This is the type of small, productive work I like sometimes. You know, in the mood to just commit code. You almost don't even care what it is. That's what we're doing today. So, we have some tracks. And yay, that works again. And that works again. Beautiful. In fact, we could make this work such that the trains don't even look silly, except on the corners. I am not fixing trains today. I can't be bothered. It's too much math. I could maybe be tempted to fix the corner track placement thing, but I don't remember how it works. Where did it? Train body width. Oh, God. Wasn't there somewhere that we asked the track where the train was? Setting the trains renderer. Get track for train. Oh yeah, get train angle. Oh, that's right. Okay, so we don't ask for positioning, we just ask for angle. Yeah, okay. I'm not fixing that today. You can do this though. Or you do this, and then just wait a bit. And then turn the trains back on. And then alright. Silly. Hey, if I do this, does that close the issue? Darn. No. I have a feeling there's a way to do that. Oh, it hasn't pushed yet. There it is. Okay, fix is 36. Yeah. Oh, that's much easier than lots of PRs. All right. Switch expressions with tuples. Is that Bill? Oh, Bill. So when I was in London, I was at NDC London, and I went and saw a talk by Bill Wagner about modernizing C#, and it was awesome, as his talks are. And he showed a little tip, trick, that I'm totally going to abuse now. So I have this switch expression. I have a number of switch expressions. Actually, this is a better example. And I'm switching on direction, but these cases are all on two things. Right? So I've got to use the when thingy, operator, statement, pattern, I don't know, filter. Anyway, it's when. And that's a little bit ugly, especially up here where there's only one that uses it. So the trick, that Bill showed was if you use a tuple to switch on two things at once. So I can say for this one, this is don't care about direction, but when not happy. It's true. And then these ones are all, wrong one. Why didn't that work? And then, I lost my multiple characters. Carrots. I thought there was a way to do that. Oh, that's because I didn't have multiple carrots. I had a box selection. Okay. Now I have multiple carrots. Open bracket. Yes. So, yeah. So now this switch expression works off two things. I guess it probably looks better if we line this up, which is always fun and potentially would be, well, actually, let's just check if I go control format document. Yeah. Okay, so let's not do that. But this is kind of cool because now I'm essentially switching on two things. It's arguably a little less readable, depending on your point of view. You've got to remember what this Boolean is. But it's interesting. It's an interesting idea, and I kind of just wanted to play with it. I could also write this as that. Meh. The one thing I wonder is in this case, whether this will allow me to consolidate any options, sort of not more easily, but like let them stand out more. So the one thing you can't do with this when is the underscore. Say, I don't care. In this case, just leaving off the when does that. But in these cases where we have lots of whens, potentially I kind of have to sort this by return value and then just see what they look like. Let's just do that. If only there was a sort thing in Visual Studio. I will do an insertion sort, I think. This is a manual insertion sort. Yeah, see, that's not looking like any patterns are emerging. But, you never know. We've got cross and left, horizontal and left, cross and down, vertical and down, cross and up, vertical and up. Oh, that's interesting. That's kind of like almost a pattern. So cross is the same as the straight. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't help. Maybe when doesn't matter. Certainly, if there was, like, this example here, there's only one when, and the first one here's a discard. Probably like too little value, or too little impact. This example where everything has a when is probably too much. But I reckon there's a middle ground where there's something where, half the cases have a when and half don't, something like that. That I just thought was a really interesting idea. It's something I'd not thought of. But the reason I went to the session is because modernizing C# is actually something I find reasonably challenging. I find I'm slow to make the new features become natural. I'm happy to adopt them, and I make it a point to keep on top of what's happening and what new features are coming out, etc. But actually making them the thing my brain goes to, when I want to write a switch statement, I will write a switch statement. I don't know how long it'll take me before writing that as a switch expression becomes natural. So yeah, I just thought it's good to be conscious about these things. Right, so that's all sorted. Are there any patterns? No. I don't think there are. This is one of those things where, and this has got to be the third or fourth time I've said this, maybe I should do it. If track direction was a flag xenum, then maybe this would be different. You do something like if direction has an up component, then our angle is 0. And if it also has a left component, we add 45. And then if it also has a right component, we add 180. I don't know if that math works out in all cases. That would be interesting. That would actually be one thing where writing a unit test for this would be probably worthwhile and easy because you just copy this code and put it in a test, but then you're free to clean up this code. Anyway, I'm going to revert those changes because that's kind of not a slam dunk, but interesting concept to keep in mind. Thank you, Bill, for your tip. Okay. What's next? Oh, yes. One thing that I have been doing unintentionally is not paying much attention to Comet. So I want to see if there's an update. 0.2.204. So NuGet. Not in my history. Nope. 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 Okay. Let's upgrade. And let's just give it a whirl. Because I've kind of left the Comet thing. And I do want to get back to it. Because I do want to use it. There was just some layout issues that had been, fixed but not released, and then getting the dev version was painful. So, let's see what happens now. So how's your day? The fun bit where it downloads things and builds things. And I don't know why it's so slow. Although there is Netflix happening in the other room. Like, seriously, what are you doing? Just sitting there. Using CPU? Not really. No. No one's using much CPU. We're all just chilling out. Okay. Alright, let's check on some more packages while we're here. This is not the normal way I look for packages. Normally, I would use the package manager. Do I want a preview? Oh, hey, it's coming. Cool. So that works. Trains don't. Oh no, train. Oh. Okay. Trains kill it. That's not good. That's very not good. Because I don't want to think, hey, thank you, Extorted, for your subscription. I think I know what that means, but I'm not much of a Twitcher. A Twitcher, being a bird watcher, I'm also not one of them. So I think this is a game loop problem. Yeah, see? We don't have a render loop. And I'm guessing a game loop. Oh no. Oh, operation is not valid to the current state of the object. Wow. How did that happen? That's very weird. Why would the Comet version get an exception? So this is vertical. Direction is left. Vertical? Oh yeah. Oh, hang on. No, maybe this is this a known bug? I think I vaguely remember that you can only put the trains. Yeah, something's definitely broken there. I think I vaguely remember you can only put the trains on horizontal bits. Yeah, cool. Right, so that doesn't work. If I draw a track, does the train move? Yeah. Look, I can do my own render loop. Look, as fast as I like. Alright, let's dig into that. Give us something to do. Right. Why? This could be a world of pain. Because, yeah, just good. So, that's fine. Wait, where's my render loop? I think my render loop is in my form. Yeah. Okay. Which means we need the equivalent in here. And I think, was it idle? No. Render? No. There was some event that Scott was telling me about that was like just a built-in WPF render loop. And that's in theory good enough. No, but I don't know how fast it is. Alright, let's just copy this one. What type of timer is this? It's a Windows Films timer. Well, we'll hope for the best. How will we tell it to redraw? Nope, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm going to do this one. Oh yes, the control delegate, that's right. The delegate has an invalidate method, because we're calling it there. And I think I got rid of all of that from the click code, because that's a click. I got rid of the calls to invalidate. Yeah, current tool.execute. Execute. Okay. So this has the invalidate loop, so this is probably where we're we want the render loop. Actually, maybe not. Does invalidate public? Yes. Okay. So this is actually, we want it in. I keep getting lost. Main page? No. Yes, main page. Where's main page? Main page. Okay, so we want our timer in here, and we will just call control delegate dot invalidate. So move that there. Did I just try to run VB code? Alright, what type of timers do we have? I can never remember which one. This one's the one with the event. Alright, let's go to the other one. Callback's slightly easier in this case. And what's our state? Don't care. Due time is 0. Period was I've forgotten. 500? What do we do? 16. I was close. Okay. And this is gonna, state. No good. Disposable. Fine. Okay, so all we need to here is say validate. This is probably telling me to do it properly. Look at that. What a mess. Oh, it's already disposable. Okay. Do. Cool. What's wrong with this? Make field read only. Sounds good. I'm on board. Alright, so that should be a draw loop. Oh yeah, I didn't know what any of these did. I do now, kind of. Okay, so in our control delegate, we want to get rid of this, because now we're going to draw in a loop. I think that's it, right? I think I tried this once before, and I had threading issues, because the timer doesn't run on the UI thread, and invalidate needs to be called on the UI thread. The good news is, if that happens again, I know how to solve it now, because I looked at the code, Comet. And I saw something all too familiar called Joinable Task Factory. Are you building? Did you crash on startup? Probably. No? Yes. Valid operation. Oh, God. Yeah, okay. So, what we need to do, what's happening, is in a desktop app, in general, all UI work has to happen on the UI thread. And this timer does not fire its events on the UI thread. So before we can call invalidate, we have to get to the UI thread. And the way we do that, in general, in Comet, is with something called Joinable Task Factory. Interesting that it's validated, has that? Yeah. Anyway, I just don't remember where Comet exposes that from. No. Comet. The red helper? Ah, that'll do it. Should we switch to main thread on there? Yeah. It's async. Set fire on main thread. That's interesting. Maybe I can use that. Run. That'll do it. Ooh, run on main thread. Nice. So, let's talk about thread helper. Thread helper is this part of Comet, but they're pretty common every time you see joinable tasks. So, right. Joinable tasks. Where to start? Microsoft, I think. Yep. Yes, threading. This is where joinable tasks come from. This is a .NET library that helps with threading. It's in the Microsoft.Visual Studio namespace. Ignore that. It's got nothing Visual Studio specific. It's just, this thing. It's just called that because it is. I don't know. I think maybe the code started in Visual Studio. Certainly, it's used by Visual Studio, and it has these things, which is cool, and it has this thing, which is a joinable task factory, which, as it says, allows you to schedule asynchronous or synchronous work that does not deadlock with the UI thread. So, what are we talking about here? So to do drawing in Windows, you need to be on the UI thread or the main thread. And so you need to, here, for example, we need to switch to the main thread, which is cool. That switch to the main thread works via some magic, but it can only get to the main thread if the main thread is currently free and able to be docked to, right? Fine. So let's say we switch to the main thread here, and then we call control delegate.invalidate. This goes off into Comet somewhere, and at some point, Comet might have async code, so it ends up on a background thread. And to do some little bit of work, it needs to get to the main thread as well. So it says switch to main thread, but it can't get there because we got there. And we're blocked because we're waiting for this to run. But this can't run unless it can access the main thread, which it can't access because we're accessing it, right? And so that's a deadlock. And it's kind of really, well, yeah, it's common. I mean, it's thread contention, but with the UI thread, it's like, this is a specific thread with a specific job, and everybody needs to get there. So it's like highly likely to occur. So what a joinable task factory does is, I'll just have to tell you because I can't think of how to show you. But essentially, it keeps track. You can think of it as keeping track of all of the awaits in your code. I don't expect this to work because I don't think thread. Oh, does that take that async? It doesn't. Anyway, yeah. So kind of what it does is it keeps track, if you like, of all the thread switching and everything that's going on. All the tasks, essentially. It has its own task class called a joinable task. How do you use GitHub. Joinable task. So yeah, it has its own task and it sets up synchronization contexts or awaiters or whatever it does. Hooks into .NET. I have no idea. Look at all this code. Lovely code. I'm sure it all works. It's written by a very smart man. Andrew Arnott. There he is. I know that. Avatar. So yeah, it keeps track of all these tasks. And what it will do via magic is if we end up in a situation where I switch to the main thread, so now I'm blocking the main thread, and I call this, and ... something happens, we end up somewhere. But this needs to get back onto the main thread. All of the tasks, all of the thread jumps, all the awaits that got us here are all linked together in a chain, essentially. The way it actually works, it's kind of like, imagine you had a big bucket of tasks. As each one is created, you paint it with a color that is the same color as the task that called it. Okay, so here this is new, so I'm assigned a random color, and red. I do this, I call this whatever. Any task that is created as a result of me, this, gets painted red. So in our big bucket of tasks, we have all sorts of colors. What a Joinable Task Factory does is when there's a situation where someone needs to get to the main thread and it's blocked, it lets through tasks that are the same color. So if this task is red, anything that this method calls or does that needs a UI thread will be able to get through because it will also be colored red. Anything that, this method does, for example, let's pretend this is called by some other system, these tasks will be blue, not red. So they won't get through. Now that's good, right? When you're blocking the UI thread is good, because if everybody could party on the UI thread at the same time, you get who knows what going. But by letting through things in the same chain as you avoid deadlocks. If you didn't understand that, don't worry. I have been working with joinable tasks for almost 18 months, and I don't understand that. But needless to say, none of that's relevant. What was that? Why was I saying this? Oh, yes. So because joinable tasks are a thing, I can do that. Because joinable tasks are a thing, and they're not annoying to work with, but you end up needing a bunch of helpers, like run a main thread, right? This is a way. Oh, that's async. Oh, that was a trap. Clancy. I'm tempted to PR a fix for that. I really thought that was a convenience method, because this isn't an async method, right? And so switch to main thread is async. So I have to make this async, which, I don't know, maybe that'll work, but I don't trust timer. How can that work? That timer callback means void. It's not going to wait. Anyway, so you end up needing helper methods, like, for example, thread helper.run. No, Alexa, I didn't say your name. So thread helper.run is a non-async method, but it takes an async delegate. And so now I can do this and get rid of this, and yeah. And this is what you end up with when using Joinable Task Factory, is a lot of this sort of stuff. So here's a Lambda that goes into a timer, which is synchronous. I want to run something on the main thread, which means I need to be asynchronous. So I use thread helper.run, which does sync over async or async over sync. Anyway, it does one of them, but it does it safely. You use this, Joinable Task. the key thing here, this joinable task context, this is this thread helper's joinable task context, right? This is where the color red comes from. So anything that uses thread helper will all be able to flow through the system. So if Comet uses thread helper, you use Comet's thread helper, this should work. Now, if this has an exception, I'm going to be embarrassed that that last 20 minutes was completely useless. Well, not useless, just wrong. Let's find out. The thing to be careful with, I guess, with hey, we got some FPS. Awesome. The thing to be careful of with this stuff is this can lead to thread pool starvation. So this run has to start a task, which is async. So you can await which switch threads. So you can call this one method, right? So for one line, you've kind of got 2 or 3 threads potentially at play here. So you kind of need to use this stuff sparingly, but it's also sometimes the only way to work or to unlock that situation. Train. All right. We have a game loop and a render loop. That's nice. Yeah, that's cool. So our game loop is inside our game engine, which is perfect because whether or not we're drawing the game, we still want trains to move. Our render loop is inside our platform layer, essentially. And that's fine because rendering is part of platform. Now, hot reload didn't work. Again, no connection. Kubernetes target machine actively refuse it. I'm assuming that's a firewalling thing. I have no idea what. Is that me? Yep. Let's have a look in the terminal. You know what? I don't think there's a problem, but I'm not going to show you my IP address. Yeah, that's me. Okay, so that's probably just firewall. Anyway, hot reload is amazing, and I really want to use it one day, but not today. Cool, so this all works. It kind of looks super chunky. Well, the FPS isn't going down there, but boy, when I click a button, look at that. It just pauses. I've forgotten what clicking a button even does. It sets a property. That's weird. Let me just run that without the debugger. I wonder if that's the XAML tools toolbar, which I normally turn off because it's ugly. Okay. Yeah, that's better. That feels much nicer. Yeah, look, I'm clicking and the train's still moving. Okay, cool. Awesome. Comet is fixed. Full featured. So we've upgraded a few things. What do we do here? Very important. Get rid of that. Oh, wait. Look at that. Look at that. It's disgusting. How did that get through code review? What does that mean? Can't fail code review if you don't review code. Cool. So we added a game loop. Too much white space. And do we do anything yet? Oh yeah. Cool. Alright, nice. Hello, I'm back. My microphone died. I need to set up my big microphone, but It's not a game loop, it's my loop. Does it fix an issue? I don't remember. Nope. Yeah, I need to set up my big microphone, but unfortunately I can't. I have to work out some method. The desk I have, turns out the clamp doesn't open wide enough for the huge desk, which is annoying. But at least you can all look at my Lego. It's Porsche. Cool. What's next? Collision avoidance. No. Pick an initial. Let's do this one. Well, yeah. Let's at least all make it not crash. So, where are we doing this? We have a train tool that adds a train. So I guess we'll do it in the add train method. Yeah, because here we just go, yep, let's do that. We'll create a train. Gold. Train. Interesting, this adds the track before setting direction. That makes sense for a track. Because, train dot set best direction. That's interesting. Didn't we have a get track for train method or something? Is that on train? Nope. Oh, yeah. Get track for train. Ah, right there. That gets the track. What are we doing here? If we contain the tree and there aren't any. Yeah. Let's do this. If we don't have a train. Yeah, trains are cheap. And if track is null, then return. And we're going to set this direction, tell what track it's on, and we're going to do that. And that. Cool. So if there are any trains already on the track, on that track, then go away. Alright, set best direction. Let's create a method. Easy. So, I guess this is another simple switch, right? So this is track.direction switch. Vertical. Oh no, set best direction. Maybe you should just return the direction. No, let's set it. Cool. So this is train direction dot up. I should probably randomize these. You know what I want? Does this have... Oh yeah, add missing cases. Awesome. Okay. That's going to be at the end, and that's going to be our liberation expression. And I'm going to do how do I create this method? We will pick a random direction. Alright, pick a random direction. Always create your randoms once. And this is instruction, and this is possible directions random.next from 0 to, and max is exclusive. That's it. That's easy. That's so easy. I'm going to use modern C#. Cool. Alright. Why do I feel like so much of this project is filling in switch expressions with enums? Left up. What happens if you put a train on a corner? Left up means up, left. Wait, that's not your left. Or is it? I don't know. That means it can either point. Oh, actually, it can point left or up or down, right? Maybe? Can you point any direction? How did I do that code? Let's find out. Let's see what happens if I put a train on a left up piece of track. No. This thing? No. Oh. Yeah. And fine. And don't worry about that. Okay, so left up is that. And if we put a train going to the right, it should be up on the angle and then continue up. And it does not. Presumably it crashes? Yes. Okay, so what if we said left? So that should be down on the angle and continue left. It does. Okay, so then the other one must be up. Yeah, okay, that's fine. We can work that out. I don't know that. I think that'll have to change. Yeah. I think that'll have to change when we are doing whatever we're going to do to get things working in smoothly. Yeah, so let's fill in more enums. Don't like that. Yeah, see, this is one where if this were flags, probably would have been easier. Because essentially the train direction is a random thing of all the flags. But anyway, right up, down. I'm going to assume that this can be right, up, or down. See, flags. Cross, I know, is up, down, left, right. Okay, so right, up, down, left, Stop down. Cool. Alright, we should now be able to draw some tracks and put multiple trains on, and they won't all go the same direction. Oh. Click, click. The system works. Click, click. Well, we have an oopsie. Can't see what that exception was. No. That's annoying. Let's remember that. No, let's not remember. It's a new tab. There we are. Okay. So this is 33. Excellent. I'm going to try this again, but I don't know if I care about that exception. Let's find out what it is. Okay, so if we do a track that looks like this, cool, and we put a train there, two. Cool. Was it just the three-way track that was wrong? Yep. So, okay, that's interesting. Oh. Wait, what is this? This is completely wrong. How did this get past code review? Left, right, up has up, up, and left. That's not right, surely. I did revert. Yeah, I reverted my change, didn't I? What was that? Was it track.cs? Yeah. Track.cs was last modified. Yeah, cool. 2 weeks ago. Okay, so that's probably a bug in here. Okay. Man, I don't want to do math. Checking this in. Oh, it's code cleanup stuff, isn't it? And that one. Okay. Fixes, was it 33? Lost it. 33. Cool. Okay, math. So, if we are a left, right, up, and direction is left, then our angle is 225, which I think should be that way. So we're exiting off to the left. Cool. So when our direction is up, we're exiting off. Oh, I see why this is. And yeah, why it doesn't work. That's funny. On a three-way track, if you're going left, if you're going up from a T intersection like this, if you're going up, you could be coming from the left or from the right. Which means What did it mean? Yeah, it definitely means that one of these needs to be right. And I guess it's that one, because that's pointing up. But that means it's got up. Yeah, that's weird. That's really weird. So what's going to happen here is if the train comes from the left, it's going to immediately jump to be there. Yeah, that's okay. It'll do for now. Okay, so left, right, down. So left is going out to the left. Down is going that way. So that's, I think, is right. These may not matter, because I'm not convinced that the train isn't going to appear to be going backwards when it gets on this track anyway. Left, up, down, down. I'm not even checking these, I'm just assuming it's the third one that I missed. Alright, any other problems? No. Should probably do some tests or something. Although I wouldn't have noticed in the test. Let's try this again. So we wanted a T-intersection and put a drone on it. Yeah, that kind of worked. So what's this going to do? Okay. I mean, that's actually, yeah, that's right. So this code says if the train is going up on here, draw it at an angle such that it came from the right. It has no more information than that to work on. This is the annoying thing with three-way intersections, is trains get stuck in loops. Like, there's all this track here, it's never going to use it. And this is where the state of the track is important. These three-way tracks actually need this to be a state, so it knows whether it's currently going that way or that way. So the general rule that I've done before is if it comes in on one side, it just follows the track, no choice. And if it comes from the bottom of the T, it follows where the planks are. So this would have it do, so you actually still get stuck in a loop again. But then you can manually switch the points and all that sort of stuff. We'll get there. Alright. So this fixes a bug. Did I log a job for the bug? Did I just log an issue? What was it? No. Okay, let's fix a bug. This is great. This is super productive. Train angle. Yeah. It's nice after a break. You know, it's not necessarily useful work. It's just busy work, but it does stuff. Validity checks. That's interesting. Does Comet have a hover? Because, oh, actually, I guess I don't need to do the hover. So what this is basically moving the logic that I just added here, this logic. So if there's no track, or if there's already a train, from here and moving it to a isValid method here, which is called in wherever this method is called, I've forgotten, here. Because then what I was thinking was if there's a hover, yeah, if there's a hover, or we could have a hover layer that drew essentially red or green based on whether the current tool is valid at that location. Probably do half of that now. Don't know about all of it. collision avoidance, rotate track, form ease and resizing. I wonder if that works now. I wonder if the nice people at Comet fix that bug for me. Ooh, it does in one direction. That's interesting, but it doesn't shrink. So it's growing, but I'm pretty sure it's not shrinking. That should not be drawn anymore. Interesting. I'm gonna debounce mouse moves. That's true. Does that go in the tool as well? Could be a throttling inside the tool, but nah, kind of want it on everything. What is this point? Is it ever more than one thing? I think I looked at this before, but I don't remember now. So the logic with debouncing is if I click, fine. If I click and now I drag, I don't need to be told about the drag until the mouse passes into the next cell. But I will be told at one point. Yeah, so it's a matter of saying capturing the column and row, and if it's the same as the last one, essentially ignore. And then on end interaction, we clear them. Yeah, let's do it. So last, it's not called mouse move here, is it? Last drag cell. Let's create a field. And if equals that, and return. That easy, folks. And no, this is last drag cell equals oh, is there an empty? Nope. Oh well, that's been annoying. And we can just do it here as well. Yeah, that should work. Let's find out. There's one case where tuples definitely make life easier, because it saved a bunch of ifs. So it takes a while to spin up that thing. So this should set it. These drags should all be ignored. Put the breakpoint in the right spot. So this should set it. These drags should all be ignored. And excellent. F5. Still dragging. Yes. No, I'm not. That's okay. Debugging while dragging is difficult. Cool. That was easy. I guess I should do it for WinForms. Although I really want to get rid of WinForms eventually, and probably sooner rather than later, because, well, I'll tell you why. Number one, it's not drawn properly. Like on this machine, it looks really small because I run at 100% DPI, and on my laptop, it doesn't, because I don't. Oops. The other reason is it's ugly. Not that Comet's not ugly, but Comet's easy to get looking good. But Comet's missing all this stuff, and this stuff, and this stuff. So I need to do more work on Comet. But that's okay. Yeah, let's not bother. WinForms was kind of my default because it worked, and that's not good. I should force myself to use Comet. So we have debounced some mouse moves. I like fixes. That's cool. Okay. One more. Rotate track. New tool should be straightforward enough. Yes. Just gonna make sure it only offers directions that are valid. New tools. What? What do I mean by that? Oh, I should check this. No, I haven't done tests. I don't know. I haven't done tests. Oh yeah, that was a thing. Yep, cool. I'm just gonna leave that, and everyone will know my shame at how long it takes me to implement the ramblings for episode 7. Okay. Rotate. Wasn't there another tool one? Oh, large tiles. Yeah. Yeah. Rotate. How would I do rotate? So I have that's train direction. Can connect, set best track. So I don't have a is valid. So to rotate track, I can't think without drawing. So if I were to rotate, let's do this. So this track here, what do I want to do? I want to essentially go through each possible direction and it's a valid one if after being set to that, if it would be happy. So happiness is set down here. So if there is more than one neighbor after the move, get neighbors does that, and then can connect, that looks at the direction. Okay, so we just need to set a direction, test all that stuff. Which, that's okay. It's not ideal because we have to set the direction and then keep setting it and essentially just hope that happens before the render loop fires. Although tool interactions are on the UI thread, so we'll be blocked. Probably, let's start with that. Yeah, let's start with that. All right, so let's make a tool. It's class. Now this should be easy, in theory, if the tool idea works. A good API, good abstraction should make this easy. Make this easy. Cool. So we are going to need a game board. Oh, you know what I need to do? Sorry, distraction. Ordering. Yeah, ordering. Cool. I need a game board. I want to initialize it. Cool. No. What's wrong with this? Null literal. Just check that. Alright. Sorry. Okay, so we have a track. We need to if a track isn't happy, then in theory it should be able to be moved to any track shape, right? I think that makes sense. So essentially we want to, what are we going to do? We want to loop through all of the enum values, starting at the one that it's currently set to. So there's no convenient way to count the number of enum things, is there? No, just to get values. Blank. Cool. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to say track.direction plus plus track.direction is greater than that. No, equal. So if we spun off the end, set it back to 0. Boy, is this abuse of C# enums. Undefined. We don't want it set to undefined. We're going to skip that one. And let's skip this one as well. What's wrong with this? Top lane. Oh, why not? Okay. Let me do this. I'll do it there. Does that work? Cool. Num directions. Cool. Equals 1. If no, we've got to do happy. We've got to get happiness. So happiness is this one. Is happy. Cool. So if track dot is happy, then we're done. Makes sense? So if we weren't happy, or we are now. So if we were happy, we will keep looking until we are happy. And I guess track happiness is not actually going to change there. So I can just use this. Is happy. Something, yeah, is happy. Is happy is weird because we also have a happy property. So this is kind of like would be happy, will be happy, can be happy. I feel I'm getting into amateur psychology again. I've also just realized that my stream little chat window just up there has a thing that is only visible to me, which is lovely because it's visible to you all. Oh dear. Good thing it doesn't say your bank PIN number is. Okay, this should work. Maybe. What was that thing about tests? No, who does tests? Nobody does tests anymore. It's old school. That's why .NET's not cool. Too many tests. I don't mean that, I promise. Especially if you're listening and I work with you. Rotate. Well, it doesn't work, but it definitely rotates. What? That should not rotate at all. This is why we write tests. Or not. This is why we debug. Debugging is a very important skill. I'm just trying to help you all learn. I hope I haven't bitten off way more than I can chew for what should be the last thing on a short stream. Okay, rotate. So firstly, do we have a track? Yes. It is horizontal. Excellent. It is happy. Excellent. Good. There are 12 directions. Really? Shouldn't it be an odd number? Oh, no, cross. Okay. So, direction is horizontal, and direction is now vertical. It was happy. So, is it happy? Why is it happy? Can't name this. So, up. So, left is horizontal, yes. Right is horizontal. Up is null. Down is null, so that still works. Left can connect right. That should be false. Because well, maybe not. Okay, now this isn't going to work. So the problem is that even though I've rotated this middle one, I haven't done anything to the left one. So it's still happy, so it can connect as far as it knows. And then if this track was going to be vertical, as it turns out, well then the left one wouldn't be happy, which means it would still say connect, because it can, it just has to change. Okay, so yeah, I don't have a sophisticated enough API for this yet, because this needs a can connect right that doesn't consider happiness, and it needs something else. Oh no, they all need to reevaluate themselves, but only temporarily. Yeah. Okay, so this isn't working. I guess the question is there value, in having this tool that just rotates tracks? I don't really like it because you can do this. That's interesting. What the one next to a corner is not moving? I don't even understand my code. Oh, there we go. Good work. Funny. Yeah, I don't like that. It's too ugly. I will make it go away. Yeah, rather a whole lot. No good. Alright. Oh, that's a really annoying way to end. I'm going to do this one. I didn't delete you. Okay, I'm going to add validity, and then I'm going to call it a night. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Okay. So train tool. This is good because I need the game board that I added. Oh no, I already have a button. Okay, so this is valid if gameboard dot track at column and row is it null, and do we ever get train? Maybe I should leave this out until I do collision detection. Nah, that's silly. Trains dot any cool. So now in here, I can get rid of this. That's interesting. Because I still need this, and I need to check it for null. Yeah. Whatever. Null check's fine. That could arguably throw an exception. Yeah. That probably could. Yeah, and then we'll do the hover in future. So, a track, nope, not a track tool. This is valid if gameboard track at column row is null. Because I did do the other one as not null, right? Cool. And then in here, oh. We retry. Huh, okay. Well, in that case, this is always valid. Which is kind of weird. And I guess pointer tool is definitely always valid. And is value. I thought it was a typo when I typed in the train tool, but no. And eraser tool, this one's definitely only when there's a track, right? Yep. Yep. And then when we execute here, we do that. I don't think current tool will be nullable, would it? I mean, obviously it is, but actually, yeah. When does the tool first get set? Does it happen in main page? No. Huh. The tool is null. Okay. I think that's it. Unfortunately, it's not really a good way to test this because they all still also have validation. But I guess it should just work. That does nothing. I could test that way. Yeah. I'll just test it this way. If this threw an exception, we'd probably test it that way by seeing if the app crashes. But we'll just see. This breakpoint should not be hit. Yep, cool. And gets it. And doesn't get it. Cool. Alright, ship it. But this is only part of this fella. Because I do want to do that drawing thing. Only 6. Cool. And with that, I shall bid you adieu. Because that was like super productive. And no. How do you do this? Can it? Oh, it's got to be a list. Yeah. Right. Great. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in. If you tuned in, thanks for watching. If you're watching, and yeah, catch you next one. Ciao.